Hi, I'm Chance, and welcome to another episode of the Sit Down Podcast. Or Chance Gonzalez, actually. Forgot to have my full name.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Sit Down Podcast. We're here. This episode is clearly sponsored by Le Capitaine Restaurant in our hometown of Bellevue, Saskatchewan. We've got some locals in the audience today. This is a really special episode. Welcome, everybody. Glad you guys made it out. Yeah, heck yeah. So this fine gentleman, as you guys can see here, we actually got the privilege of meeting him. I think it was about a year ago, last Christmas.
Right before Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, from another podcast called the 12 Podcasts of Christmas from Prehistoric Productions. Some friends of ours, they had Chance on, and as he was done recording and leaving, we were coming in to do our episode, and that's how we got to meet Chance here. So
Joel was very excited, and he was like, hey, do a trick on me.
Oh, man, I'm very fired up for this one. But before we get into it, you guys, we did want to give a little shout-out here.
We have an announcement to make.
Yes, just a quick one.
We need to say farewell to 5 of our friends.
5, yeah, not 1, 2, 3, 4, but 5 of our buddies we have lost. So our flags are at half-mast. So we're just going to play one of these and give them
a farewell.
All right, that's enough of that. That's for you. You guys know who you are. We love you. We respect you.
And thank you.
And thank you guys for everything that you've done. You know who you are. Are you familiar with Kai the Hatchet Killer or whatever? I was thinking of isolating that soundbite and using it in our podcast where it could be like, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, smash.
Holy shit, that's where you were going with that?
Hey, yo. Perfect. Right on. Welcome to
Bellevue.
Our town, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. As are we. I've been, since we got to meet, there was, one trick that you did at Prehistoric Productions to me. I haven't been able to shut up about it or figure it out. And every time I describe this trick to people, they're like, get the F out of here. Like that. And I'm like, no, legit. This is how it happened.
Every time I talk about Chance, it's like, when he did the trick on me, I was like, get out of here. That's what the so,
it's like,
and he's doing the trick again tonight, so I'm excited about it.
I'm hoping
I'm actually doing both of those ones, yeah.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited. But before we get into tricks, I kind of want to know, an origin story. We have a lot of musicians that come on a weekly basis, so this is kind of a little bit out of our comfort zone as well. As you are not, I don't think you're a musician, as far as I know.
No, I play guitar sometimes, but not very good.
All right, just do some tricks with a guitar too, right? Hell yeah.
Make people's eardrums disappear.
There you go, or bleed.
Yeah, or bleed.
But
not bleeding.
So yeah, so how long have you been not performing, but when did you really get a grasp on oh, this is something I want to do?
Yeah, probably doing magic specifically. I started when I was around 15 or 16. 15 is when I actually that's kind of when I got super interested in magic, because I saw actually my friend, I always say I saw David Blaine put a needle through his hand, which is true. That's what got me really into it. But I was at a party when I was 15, and my friend showed me a really, really simple card trick. And I went home that night, and I was like, there's no way he tricked me. I kind of was like, I really wanted to figure it out. And then when I found out how it was done, that's when I saw David Blaine. And then I saw him do a needle through hand thing, and then that's definitely when I started, I immediately started learning tricks. And then I told my mom, I was like, I want to learn this trick, and I showed her the needle through hand thing. And that was the very first thing I showed her, any magic thing was that. And she was like, well, learn a card trick first, basically.
Right.
I didn't really know any.
Don't go injuring yourself right out of the gate, eh?
And so I went from that, because even when I was younger, I was always really fascinated with circusry and clowns specific. It sounds weird, but I was really fascinated with clowns, and I hate clowns. I'm not too big a fan of them either. They scare me, but I really like that as performers they put themselves through quite a bit, and you don't really think that because it's really funny, like the way that they do it. But it's like a lot of the stuff that they do is like circus clowns anywhere, like pretty dangerous.
Yeah,
and so I've always been kind of fascinated by that. And so I saw David Blaine do that. I was like, well, you can do that and magic. And so then I started learning a card trick, and then I showed my mom a card trick, and it was pretty simple actually. And I still remember the one I did, and I didn't have a deck of cards, like a full deck of cards when I first started. I had one of those ones, like novelty ones you get from a casino.
Okay.
Just those really
like with
tiny.
the hole punch in it there still?
No,
Or?
even worse, the like tiny ones.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
And I remember sitting on my couch and like trying to shuffle this tiny deck of cards, and I showed her that, and then she freaked out, and then got me a bicycle deck, and then I kept learning more and more card tricks, and like I honestly was just wanting to impress her because her reactions are what really drove it. And then it eventually led into performing for people, but it was always wanting to make her smile.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you were 15 when you
Yeah.
got interested, and when was your first show?
My first show was my first public show that other people can go to was when I was 23. So the
Okay,
reason for
8 years.
such a big gap was because it took me 7 years to learn the needle through hand. I was dedicated. I knew I wanted to do that, and I remember telling people it throughout my life, and always got like told I was crazy. I mean, to be fair, it sounds insane.
It most definitely is. You are
You are
crazy.
insane, yeah.
You are crazy.
So how did that trick go? Like when you put the needle through your hand on stage for the first time with 220 people or whatever it was?
It was insane because I have a massive phobia of needles. If I'm being honest, I have a really, really bad phobia of them. I can't look at them when I get like a shot or anything. I have to like look away still to this day. And it went like, it was insane. Like that was the moment that kind of solidified in my head. Like I want to keep doing crazier and crazier things like that. Not just for the reaction, but just like the feeling of actually spending 7 years learning something and doing it.
Right.
It was crazy. And I, like leading up to that, a week before my show, it was my first CTV interview, and on my first one, I have a Band-Aid on because that was the very first time I did the needle through hand, because my needles came like so late because there was a problem with like the border and
Right.
and I had to have like a doctor medical certificate thing.
Oh,
and
man.
So then the shipper, they made one for me.
And that's all we're going to say about that, right?
Yeah. I won't expand on that, but I got them.
Well, I'm curious as to, being a magician and learning tricks from like, David Blaine, maybe Chris Angel, something like that.
Yeah.
Are there like, have you ever created your own?
Oh yeah. Not so much in the first like. I mean, like when you're doing tricks, you never want to perform it the way that you learn it, because if you're doing magic anyway, because if you're just learning it to just do like the odd card trick, then you're gonna do it the exact way that you learn it.
Right.
But when you're doing it for like years, then if you learn something from a magician, then you could take something that you read in another book and add it to that trick, and you could start to make your own, because it's like almost impossible to make something that's completely original. Everything's usually like there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books, so it's like very hard, but it's kind of like cooking, where like you just take different ingredients from different.
Right.
From all
make
different
your
books.
own recipe.
It's kind of like music.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly like music. 'Cause
Like doing a cover of a song, but
you can add your own flavor to it.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
then you can rearrange the notes and make your own thing.
freaking rights.
And at my newest show coming up, there's like a lot of it is original magic actually.
Hell yeah.
And that's definitely going to be a first, where it's like I thought of a trick. I mean, not I guess a first, but like for a public show, thought of a trick and then thought of a routine behind to have multiple phases and everything, and put a bunch of different things together just from my brain.
Yeah.
I was always way too nervous to do it, but just with doing it for this long, and now it's almost freestyle. I almost freestyle magic anyway when I'm performing for people, so it's just kind of taking that and now planning it.
Right.
So your next show is where and when?
It's July 25th at the Roxy Theater, 2023.
Saskatoon.
Yeah, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
That's your birthday too, is it
my
not?
birthday, yeah.
Heck yeah.
I'm turning 27.
Excellent.
So it'll be 11 years of 11 years of magic.
Frick,
Nice.
Congrats on that, man. That's
Yeah.
not an easy thing to do. Being in like the entertainment industry, like
Yeah.
just having a year under your belt is a huge success in my opinion.
Yeah.
Never mind 12 years of doing it, man.
Yeah, it's it could definitely be tough sometimes, especially during COVID. That was a rough time, I think, for everybody that performed.
Right? Yeah. Were you able to perform during the pandemic at all?
No, not at all. So
Not
that was a
at
solid
all, eh?
because I tried a Zoom thing and it not the same. It's
Right.
just I could have done that, but for me, it's I have to love it to want to do it, and I definitely wasn't in love with it.
Right.
it was really hard because if you accidentally drop a deck off camera, then in the person's head they're like, oh, well,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
he's
there you go.
just-
It's cheating.
switched it, or
That makes
yeah.
sense.
So it's not as magical, I guess. I mean, there are really good magicians on Zoom, though. That just wasn't for me.
Right.
But there are magicians that do fantastic shows.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
For the show at the Roxy, like people who are watching here, if they
Yeah.
want to go, where can they get tickets for the Roxy show?
So you can go directly on the Roxy's website. It'll be under coming soon, and then the show title is the One Man Show. Which actually I do want to talk about that because it's the most narcissistic thing I've done with my magic.
I noticed this on your T-shirt too, and
Yeah, this I'm gonna wear at my show. Actually, I probably might get a different material. I just want to see what it felt like to wear.
Okay. So what's up with the name?
The name is it's a common term in magic, I guess, for someone that can do it all. I didn't feel comfortable with naming it that, but just because it sounds so egotistical and very. And
I don't think
perform
so.
in that way.
I don't think so at all because is it not just only you on the stage?
It is, but then I think that's the other part that's kind of disingenuous is I have the prehistoric production guys that help me out like crazy that make it even possible. So I did want to almost name it the Four-Man Show.
Because of all the behind the scenes stuff that has to take
without
place.
them, it wouldn't be possible. So that would be the more accurate title of it.
Freaking right. So you will be filming that performance as well.
Yeah. So we have 3 or 4 different camera angles at the show that gets projected onto the screen because I do a lot of close-up stuff.
Right.
So you can see everything. Thankfully, it's awesome. They do such a good job of it. And this time I want it recorded, so I just have like hour, where it's an hour and a half usually, sometimes 2 hours, but
Right.
just a lot of footage would be nice. But yeah, the title I decided to make it though because just of all the work I've done and all the tricks I do, and I've always had a goal of being like a kind of a one-stop shop if you want to go see someone do a card trick, someone do a mentalist trick, someone levitate a quarter, someone pierce their body with needles.
Sew their lips shut.
Sew their mouth shut, yeah.
So is there a difference between a magician and an illusionist?
To me, there's a bit of a difference, yeah. To me, a magician is someone that's more, I guess, kind of what I do. A illusionist to me is kind of, when I hear that, I think big stage things, like big stage illusions.
Right. Making people float and all that.
That type of stuff, making
Right.
things giant things appeir, disappear.
Big
I think
white
it's more of
tigers
a-
eating people.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing.
Specifically the white tigers eating people. But yeah, I think that's, to me, what would be an illusionist to me is more definitely bigger stage things. But
Do you want to get to that point?
no.
No tigers in your future, hey?
No, I like being very, very basic. I perform with the idea of, I heard a magician say it once, it was the shaman approach of dress kind of just black. Like that's why I wear a black t-shirt, black pants. I don't like being very like grand with my tricks, or like I don't like being the center of attention for them. I just like being someone there that is doing something cool, and the audience is the one that's the magical part of it. Because like without an audience, a trick is a trick.
Right.
But with an audience and them reacting and everything, they feed off of their own energy, and that's something it's awesome to watch. And I find, for myself anyway, other magicians, they do a fantastic job, but for me, I just wouldn't feel comfortable with being like trying to insert myself in that moment. I'd prefer that they remember the trick and the experience that they had with other people rather than myself.
Right. That makes sense.
Not great for business, but
Okay, so do you wanna show us something?
sure, yeah, definitely.
Maybe try the one you did on Joel first.
And we can have people yell out numbers too for this.
Heck yeah.
one.
Yeah, do it.
So, Joel, do you want to open up the calculator here?
All right, I'm gonna put the mic
If you
down.
could see. It would be right there in the bottom. Yeah. Awesome. And then, would one of you guys like to name any number? Which one? 5? Perfect. And
Number
put 5 and hit times. And then, Joel, put in any number that you want, but you can hide it. Put in any number that you would like.
I'll show
the
camera, but don't look at that screen.
Okay. And then when you got it,
Can you see it, you guys? Yes, we can.
and then when you got it, hit equals.
Yep.
And
Okay.
then hit times again.
Yep.
And then, Mark, would you like to put in a number?
I'll hold it. Equals?
Okay.
Yep, hit equals. Hit times again. And then can we get another number? 3. Put 3. Hit times.
Not equals?
Or sorry, equals, yep. And then hit times.
Yep.
And then put in a large number, any big number.
Like anything.
Like 726.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then,
726.
and then hit equals. And then you can put the phone down here.
Face down?
Face down.
Face up. Yeah, it's all right.
Okay.
it's
So we have a
around.
number here, 2090880.
And we'll get one more. Do you want to hit times and then just put in any number, just whatever you would like, and hit equals. So
427,346,159.
and then you can show that so that way they can see it as well. And then with me, I brought
Okay.
some big cards. So the first number is 4, right?
It is.
Do you want to turn over this card?
Okay.
So 4. What's the next number?
2.
Do you want to turn over that?
I see where this is going.
Get the hell out of here, man.
That's kind of lucky though. Do you want, what's the next number? It's a 7.
Yeah, that's a 7.
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
The next number is a 3, I think. Do you want to turn that over?
3. Yep.
This is rad.
The next one should be hopefully a 4. Oh, there's an extra card there. Is that a
Yep.
4?
Yep.
Awesome. And then the next one should be a 6, I believe. And then hopefully an ace for the 1. Oh, I have a lot of cards in there.
There's a lot of halfers.
A lot of halfers.
Ace. Yep.
Ace.
Ace. And then hopefully a 5.
Yeah.
And then hopefully a 9.
Okay. Well done.
It's kind of weird.
I
That's-
call bullshit.
It's definitely interesting, but it's all math, though, right? It's all
I
math.
don't know.
Yeah, you liar. You're a liar.
Because the numbers are random. I mean, we didn't pick the numbers.
That's right. They were definitely random numbers, but that's also like the. Yeah, I don't know. But did you see the trick that I did to him earlier?
You want to show it.
I kind of
It
want to
was
do my
actually-
little
it was
rinky-dink trick.
incredible.
I thought it was
So
pretty awesome.
when
Have you guys
Chance,
seen this trick? It's
Yeah,
awesome.
they're like, yeah, we've all seen it.
so when Chance showed up here, Joel's like, oh, I got a magic trick too. And we're both like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And then he did the trick, and Chance was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen that before.
It actually worked.
Believe it or not, I've been shown quite a few card tricks from people. And that was the first time I was like genuinely blown away.
Nice. So, if you guys want to see that, you can come ask me on any Tuesday night at Capitol Open Stage. Hit me up and I'll show you there.
I can probably do it too now.
Yeah, there you go.
I might do it.
I see.
He'll take royalties too.
Hey, call it the Moose.
I'm getting an entirely new act while I'm here.
Freaking rights. So okay, being a quote unquote one man show.
Yeah.
And having to book your own shows, do you find is that difficult for you? Like I said, we talk to a lot of musicians and stuff, and that's like one of the reoccurring questions that we have is like, how do you guys plan your tours, book your shows and stuff? I'm presuming it's similar with how you do it, but I'm curious on that.
So for me, for getting hired and everything for shows, I've been fortunate enough where like I got really lucky with getting just like, thankfully, like for my first thing I got hired for, it's just weird. It's like a spider web. So for I remember my first gig I ever got hired for. I actually remember it very well, and I remember the pay and everything, and it was awesome. But from there, well, the pay wasn't awesome, but the experience was awesome. But and I never thought I'd ever make money off of it. I honestly, my goal was to make $5 off of Magic, so I'm pretty sure that's what I charged. But I remember going to that, and then I met someone there that they told me I need business cards, and I didn't have any, and so then from there I made some, and then but they grabbed my number and then got hired through them, and then from that thing got hired from another thing, and then I got business cards, and then they would ask for multiple, and then kind of just went like that. So for that aspect, I don't have to book things, thankfully.
So they're asking you instead of with musicians. It's a lot of they have to go out and book their own shows,
which I'm super thankful for. But for public shows, I just put them all myself. I like pay for everything. I like design all my own stuff. I do the promotion. And it's definitely a lot of work, but I love doing that. And for my public shows, it's a little different though, because I want each show within Saskatoon to be different. So, because a lot of the time you can do the same show over and over. That's usually what you do, is the same show over and over and over and over again.
Right.
Which is fine, and it's good to do that. But for in the same city, I prefer it to be different. So there's usually like a year in between, or 2 years in between a show.
Right.
Because I had my first one at 23, and I'm only on my fourth one. But now I'm starting to do them a lot more frequently. But and each show I add a new stunt as well. And so it takes time to learn it professionally, because I get help with them. I don't just go and do it.
Yeah, you don't just go in with a needle and thread and decide to sew your lips shut.
So do you have like a mentor or a coach, or is everything from books or
books?
Experiments?
Yeah, a lot of books. I wish I had a
YouTube?
mentor. It'd be awesome. But yeah, YouTube is what I started with, and then from YouTube, I started with YouTube, and then on YouTube, I would find the magicians that those magicians liked. And so then I would find their books, and so to go to that, and then
Interesting.
from that magician's books, they would sometimes have references to other tricks or other books, and so then I'd go to those ones. And then from there, I would go to their lecture notes, because their magicians do lectures sometimes, and sometimes they only teach tricks within those notes. So to go look at that, or video downloads that magicians sell and everything. There's a lot of options to learn it, but yeah, books are the best resource though.
Have you ever thought of writing your own book? Like, do you document when you're learning a trick? Do you document that learning process of it for like maybe 10, 20 years down the road? You'll have some type of scripture where you can be able to release like your
and finally make money.
yeah, that's how you'll make the money in Magic. Really let a book
Move
out.
from under that bridge. I like to write down the process of learning the stunts, and I I actually have I'm gonna play it at my show. Actually, I have the video of my very first attempt at putting the needle in my hand, and it was cool to find it. And it's I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna say fully what I said. I'm gonna have to censor it at my show, but I scream.
You can say it here. You can totally say it
We're in a
here.
bar.
I scream.
19 plus over here.
That's true. I scream, "Holy fuck, that hurt!"
No doubt.
And, so yeah, it definitely you could definitely see like, and then when I did my first attempt at sewing my mouth shut, I have that video as well, and I want to play that at the beginning of my show because I want people to see kind of like the work.
Yeah.
Some of it at least.
Right, like the not transition, but like from where you were the first time you did it to where you'll be that night when you perform it, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And when I sewed my mouth shut for the first time, I remember I wasn't expecting. It was like some of the worst pain I think I've ever felt, and it was like you obviously can't react when you're doing it. That's what you train that's a lot of the practices.
Like willpower.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
a lot of willpower, and so you can't flinch. You can't even go like that. You have to like be super still because you don't want anyone to panic. And my first video is like me, like that was my first time I wanted to practice not flinching or anything, and I had tears coming out of my eyes.
I can only imagine.
And now I don't, thankfully. Now I'm used to it, so it's like.
So does it just like get calloused up and then it gets like easier and easier the more you do it?
Yeah. My hand hasn't. I was really hoping it would, but,
But not yet.
Not yet. Every time feels like the first time.
Holy smokes.
It's brutal, but the mouth will, because the needle's thicker, because it's just makes it quicker, and
At that point, it's not even a trick anymore. It's just
there is a trick associated with it. So after sewing my mouth shut, then I make the person's signed card appear in my mouth after it's sewn shut. Yeah. So that's an original trick. That's something I invented. That's an example of one, I guess.
It's crazy.
that's wild.
It's great. I'm even having a little flashback to that night that we met, and I'm still trying to figure out how the hell you did this. I'll tell you guys what actually.
Show
We
it.
can show it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Does anybody
anyone wanna
want to be amazed at how awesome this trick is?
He's not going to do his lip right yet.
No, we're not gonna.
Oh, don't
Susan
worry.
will walk out if that happens.
If you want to see that, get tickets to the Roxy, July 25th.
No, I gotta go to work tomorrow still. After you do that one for a week, it looked like I had like a lip filler.
Oh man,
Yeah, I remember I saw my mom and she's like, "Did you get plastic surgery?"
that's freaking hilarious. Do you have a photo of that?
No, I wish I could.
Oh,
I should
man.
have. I didn't think to when
I say, bam, we'll just blast that right here.
when I was talking, my mouth wasn't moving when I was talking. I completely forgot about that, actually. It was pretty bad. And eating was not fun.
How many times have you sewn your lips shut?
A few times now. I
Like more than 5?
No, definitely not. I use to practice for the pain management. I don't really want to
Go all the way through.
use the needles I have for it because I only have a limited amount right now. So what I do is I use the one that I use for my hand, and to practice the pain management, I'll put one here, one here, one here, and one here, and just in the spots that I would be sewing it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It looks insane when you're doing it, but
I think I'd rather try to play music.
Yeah, no doubt. Take 7 years to learn the guitar, maybe.
it's not for everybody.
At least I won't have holes in my face.
Does do one of yous want to volunteer to come up here and
Does anyone want to see a card trick? I'll do 2.
we'll do a card trick up in
Not all at
in
the same
frame
time.
here?
Okay, Jennifer.
Do you have a fear of needles? Stick out your hand.
Well, in that case,
I'm just
yeah.
Okay, perfect. So for this one, we'll just do something quick, I guess. So just sign the 4 spades there. Perfect. And I'll show you guys her signature on the 4 spades here. I'll show the camera as well. If I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it seeable?
Yeah, it's on there.
Okay, perfect. And Here, 1 second. So what we'll do with the 4 of spades is we're just gonna tear most of it off there, or the corner at least.
Wait. Where did it go though? Is it?
Did it fall?
You gotta have the magician's eye to see it.
I was looking right here. It just like vanished.
I think what happened, I think the wind may have taken it.
There's a breeze here, yeah.
Do you want to cut open that grapefruit? Do you want?
With what?
Do you want to just? You can stab the scissors through if you want. Just be very careful.
Okay. But I like grapefruit.
You can probably take it home after.
Now what?
Perfect. And then maybe just split it down the side, like peel that way.
Jane probably has an actual knife here.
That probably would have worked. There you go. Perfect. And do you want to just open up the grapefruit?
Love the smell of grapefruit. I wish you guys could smell this.
Do you see something in there?
Somewhere down that way,
Do you want to pull it out?
in this half, there's something that looks like gold.
It might be an old grapefruit.
Blue mold.
Wait a second here.
Smells good.
I don't.
There it is.
That is crazy,
Do you want
man.
to make sure it fits?
How did it just... I'm still shocked at how it just vanished when you went to
So
like...
this is where I go, what the actual fuck?
Yeah. And I'm going to say that fucking hurt.
Do you want to show them the grapefruit card?
That's crazy. Hell yeah.
But here, we could do something else that's a little weird. Do you want to grab... You can if you want. I wouldn't recommend it. But do you want to grab...
Chance know what he's done to the grapefruit.
I don't know what Walmart did. I picked that up and I was like, that's moldy. Perfect for magic. But do you want to hold those scissors again? So I'm going to just... I'm going to unroll...
I don't want to be in the
Oh, that's all right. And I'm going to open up... I have a spool of thread here so that way you guys can see it. And here, do you want to cut maybe right there, probably, yeah. Perfect. So we have that length cut. And do you want to cut off maybe a piece right there as well? Perfect. And do you want to hold that piece? Awesome. And cut off another piece. Perfect. And hold that piece. And maybe do one more smaller one. Right there. Awesome. Hold that. And you can show everyone the pieces you have. And how many do you have? You have
I have 3.
3, I believe. And do you want to roll them up into a ball? And I have one piece here, so I have the 4th piece.
It's like I'm in the shower with my hair.
Perfect. So we have this little ball here, right? And sometimes it's really cool is because it's made of cotton, so sometimes you can actually, if you press hard enough, you can make the ball kind of stick. Sometimes.
That's the grapefruit juice doing that.
Right? I think what's even cooler is you could
No way, man.
maybe it's tangled. Maybe a little tangled now. There we go.
And now it's all back together again. That's freaking deadly, man.
I call bullshit.
Well, the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, I'm at a different angle here, so I'm like trying to find that sleight of hand, that
Yeah.
misdirection, and I can't I can't find it.
He's having his fiber for the day here.
I think it's coming out of his nose.
I think it's coming out his eye. Take a look at the camera here, Chance, if you can, real quick. No flippin' way. Oh, I'm glad my son's not here. He's gonna be try and do this all the time now. That's unreal.
That looks really uncomfortable.
It probably hurts with the grapefruit juice in it too.
Doesn't feel the greatest.
Do it, Jen. Do it. No way. Oh.
I think Leia's gonna barf in the corner
Oh,
there.
that's gnarly.
Oh.
Dude.
Would you like to see one more that's not as weird?
Yeah, I like weird shit. That's why I married Mark.
I'm glad you don't have a microphone. Cut.
Here, you can take the Sharpie again. And here, we'll give this just a bit of just a quick shuffle here. Just like that. Perfect. And I'll put the card maybe right there. And would you be able to reach in and grab a card? Whichever one you would like. That one there, you can show everybody the card as well. Perfect, and I'll borrow it. I'm going to cheat with this one a little tiny bit so I can see the card. So the 7 of spades, good card. You want to sign your card across the face? Right there, perfect.
Jane, you gotta watch this. Check this out here.
So we'll take
Check
your
this
7
out.
of spades and we'll fold it up like that. And do you want to hold your hand? And just hold on to your card right there. And just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to take the next card down, so I'm going to take the Queen of Diamonds. And here, I'll borrow the Sharpie just for a sec. So I'm going to sign my card across the face as well. That way you can see it. You guys can see it. And then we'll take my card. And I'm going to fold mine up as well, kind of like this. A lot of stuff going into my mouth.
I thought this wasn't going to be weird.
Maybe, you feel that?
Did you feel that?
Feel that?
Poking my hand.
So you just felt something poke your hand just now.
The hell?
And that's the trick he did to me.
Do you want to open up your hand?
Oh,
Yeah, do you want to open up the card?
open the card. The one he just put in his mouth. That's crazy, man. I still don't know how the hell you did that. That was one.
I won't give this one to you. But thank you.
I freaking love that one. I still have. I'm totally gonna like slow down that footage and watch it repeatedly.
You might be able to catch it.
That's awesome. Even how how that half of that 4 of spades disappeared.
Yeah, a quarter of 4.
That piece like vanished right in front of my face. That's I think how I'm like, what the fuck just happened there, dude? That's awesome. That
Thank
is
you.
so awesome. Congrats on that.
Thank you so much.
I love that shit. Thank you, Jennifer.
I'm still looking at that grapefruit like, how?
How? Yeah, like there was no puncture marks in the grapefruit or nothing.
No, I actually looked at it when he brought it in. I was like, what the hell is this? And I roll it around and it looks like a grapefruit.
I did that trick, and I actually had somebody eat it after.
Really?
Without me knowing. The grapefruit.
The grapefruit?
Yeah.
Jennifer will.
They took
will.
one of the halves, and then I saw them in the audience to go.
But it's still, I mean, it's a grapefruit. How old is that
tear it apart.
grapefruit? How long have you
Don't
had
do
that
it.
grapefruit for?
I bought it
Don't
on the
do
way
it.
here. Yeah.
There you go.
Does it taste like a grapefruit?
Watch Jennifer's going to be sick for the next like 3 days.
Hey,
now.
Fine.
we're going camping this weekend.
Yeah.
I forgot to get you to sign the disclosure.
So, okay, a question for you on magic tricks that you perform out of your whole repertoire of tricks that you've got up your sleeve. Haha, no
Yeah.
pun intended. Which one would you say are maybe your top 2 that are your favorite to perform, or the ones you get
Ooh.
the biggest reactions out of maybe?
Oh, that's a hard one. That's a really hard one.
Is it always different? it probably depends on the crowd that you're performing it for, hey?
Yeah, there's this one trick that I do that involves Wikipedia that one is probably gets the best reaction from people. It usually, the person I perform it on it usually freaks them out quite a bit. That one definitely would be up there. There's another one that I do where I'll make a prediction on someone else's phone, put it down, and then another person on their own phone will search up a song, and then it'll be the same song that I looked up. And
On the other phone.
On the other person's phone, yeah. So those usually get really good reactions. I think there's actually one that I'm learning right now that is my favorite, though. Yeah, I could do it right now if you would like.
But no guarantees it works.
Well, I don't. I honestly don't. I would rather you don't perform anything that you're going to be performing at the Roxy, because I don't.
That's fair.
This will be out prior to the show at the Roxy, so I don't want them to
That's
see
fair.
it here. And
Yeah,
then-
that one is for sure. I'm like the most excited for that card trick for at my show
right.
now. There's two actually. So that one and then this other one that is a completely original routine as well. That one I'm so excited for. I show my family it, and I was telling you earlier, my family is hard to impress nowadays. But I showed my family that one, and they were like, "There's no way."
Like
And I was like,
that was the one that got him. Hey.
"Yeah, oh, I'm so excited for that one." It took me. It uses like 4 different books I was reading a few weeks ago. Yeah.
That's insane.
So how long does it usually take you to learn? I mean, every trick is different. So, but
Yeah.
on average, how long does it take you to learn a trick?
Everyone varies, so it depends. To learn it, honestly, if I showed you guys a trick, it'd take you like probably 5 seconds to learn it. But to actually
Right.
Because you've mastered it already, right? Yeah.
I
But
feel
then-
like every
but then
magic
doing
trick
it-
has a
doing it-
very simple explanation.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a guitar. It has a very simple explanation, but actually doing it's very hard.
Yeah.
So to learn it, perform it, it really depends. For a sleight of hand move, for example, I guess, one of the moves that I just did here, it's one of the first moves that you would learn as a magician, that you'd have to learn. And that took me, I remember I was 15 and 16 when I learned it. I saw there's different ways to do it. And the way that I wanted to do it was, I won't say the name of it, but, I'll get assassinated by magicians. But the way I wanted to do it was the kind of advanced way. And to get to that point, I spent, it's not going to sound believable, it's going to sound absurd, but for a year after school, I'd get home, and for 3 to 4 hours a night, I would practice one move for a full year. And
Holy smokes.
yeah, it would just be that one sleight of hand move. That was it. And I mean, I'd practice other card tricks and stuff too, but that one took me, it wasn't until I was around 21 when I actually felt comfortable with it. So it took 5 years of like, and I still practice it every single day. I haven't gone a single day since I've started learning it where I haven't done it at least
Interesting.
for an hour.
That's kind of like that whole 10,000 hours thing to
Yeah.
be like, to get perfection, right?
Yeah. Out of anything.
Out of anything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just such a vital sleight of hand move that's like, you kind of have to do it all the time because you want it. The goal with a sleight of hand move, there's cardistry and magic, and the cardistry is all the fancy shuffles and everything. I suck at that, but the goal with the sleight of hand move is you want it to seem so natural. You don't want, because the mistake that I see a lot of people do, and it still happens to me sometimes, is people will, when they're holding cards, if they're performing a card trick, they'll tense up with it right before they're about to do a sleight of hand move.
Okay.
So it's kind of like boxing. Sometimes people will like cock their hand back before they throw a punch. It's kind of like the same thing. People could pick up on different
The little
things.
telltales,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
if you're playing poker or something,
Yeah,
and you see,
poker
right?
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing that's
Linebackers in football too. If they lean forward, you can see that they're going to be attacking
yeah.
on their fist. Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's a hard thing to get around is like, and that's where you want to practice every single day because you want it to be the way that I told myself and that I learned was you want to be able to do the move the way that you would do it normally. So like you don't want to obviously be obvious with it, but you want to be very, like, not even quick. You want to just be very smooth.
Right.
And so the way that you would handle a deck of cards if you never knew how to perform Magic is the way that you want a sleight of hand move to look.
Right.
You don't
That makes
want
sense.
to look fancy. You don't want to
Yep.
be over the top. You want it to just look like you've handled a deck of cards maybe loosely.
Yeah.
Because then
Yeah.
it's more of a surprise when
Yeah, that makes
stuff
perfect
starts
sense.
happening.
Actually, one thing I'm thinking of right now is, do you go into like casinos and do you like do you play blackjack or poker at a casino or anything?
I used to be pretty bad into blackjack.
Oh, really? I would think that would be the opposite. And you could like pull some sleight of hand shit there and win
Well,
some
he's not holding a
reasonable
deck if
hands.
he's playing blackjack.
Right, but
Oh, by bad I mean I loved it. I was really good at it, but but yeah, I used to play blackjack quite a bit. But that's just because I just love seeing cards being dealt. And so sometimes I'd go and just sit at a table, wouldn't even play that much, just to watch people shuffle cards.
Right.
Sounds kind of sad, but
no, well,
You are on a one-man show.
Yeah, just sitting in the corner
one-man
watching.
life.
Frick, yeah. Well, I want you to know, man, we appreciate the shit out of you coming out to our community here.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me
Hang on,
so
he has
much.
3 more decks.
He does. Well,
I'm
actually,
sure we can go out with a few more tricks here.
well, how about can we request you do one more trick? We'll end the show on that, but
For sure.
I might bug you to do a couple more once the cameras stop rolling.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, 1 second here.
He might have to do that on you.
We'll get him to sew his lips shut when the cameras stop.
Yeah. After Susie leaves,
Yeah.
she'll faint.
Just gotta see something because gotta make sure I have all the cards on this one. This one is gonna be missing maybe a few, but okay. I think everything's in there. This one you're gonna do actually.
No, he's going to do.
Joel's gonna do it.
All right.
Both of you will do it.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Okay. So cut less than half of the deck.
Okay, I'll start. Less than half?
Yeah, that's probably a good amount. And so what you're going to do is you're going to count how many cards. So for example, face down, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Count how many you have, but don't say it out loud. Just count to face down. I'll turn around.
I still hear you counting.
Okay.
Perfect. You have a number?
I got it.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So
Did you count that in Dutch or did you count that in English? Yeah.
Every
All
time
right.
I put the card down,
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
confuse him.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out some cards. We're going to put the microphone down for it.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So I put down 25 cards. Thank you very much. That helped quite a bit, actually. I didn't even see you go do that. I saw this come up, and I was like, whoa. I am magic.
I'm getting good at this.
She's a magician too.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count, and you have a number in your head, right? So
Like
pretend,
how many cards I have here?
yeah,
Yep.
that'll be your number. Don't say
Okay.
it out loud.
Okay.
So if your number was 3, your card will be the 3 clubs, I guess.
Right.
So 1, 2, 3, right?
Yep.
So I'll count through these. Whenever you hear your number, just remember the card that it lands on, but
Okay.
don't say it out loud. Don't make it obvious or anything.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Do you have a card?
Yep.
You have a card in mind?
Yep.
Is it safe to say that the card isn't in this half of the deck?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. We'll put those there. I don't think it's in this half either. Would I be correct on that?
Correct. Yep.
Because you seemed like you checked out after around this area. Around here, it looked like you were watching intently, so I don't think any of these cards.
You didn't even look at me.
It
It's
was
one of
the
these four
the
cards.
Sixth eye or whatever.
Yeah.
It's one of these four, right?
Sure.
I think a way to tell which one it would be is in all of these cards, these are all blue ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have one card in your head, right?
Yep.
So they're all blue cards except for there's one card that
Uh-huh.
isn't blue.
Yeah.
It's the Queen of Hearts.
Uh-huh.
Is that your card?
Yeah.
It was. It definitely was.
But
What number?
How many cards do you have?
18.
18.
so it's the only red card in the deck.
Uh-huh.
So I couldn't cheat by hearing you count the cards down. And to make sure I couldn't cheat, I also wrote down the Queen of Hearts in the box as well, just to make sure.
Okay.
But then I also put down a card underneath here.
Which was the Queen of Hearts. Hell yeah, dude. Heck yeah.
Is it in here too?
Yeah. How many
Maybe.
Queens of Hearts do you got there?
Oh, wait, and you cut anywhere, right? I forgot to do that part, but...
But this one's blue, though.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, that one will be blue.
No, that's freaking wild.
What the
I
fuck?
feel like that's I like that one. I feel like I could learn that one. Like a process of
Are
elimination.
you sure?
I do. Chance,
I think so, too.
Dude, we think you're so amazing. From that time we met you in Saskatoon at the studio at Prehistoric Productions there, man.
Yes.
You've been a good shit, great guy. Like I said earlier, I appreciate you coming out here.
Thank you
Man,
so much. I
want you to
appreciate you
know-
guys having me so much.
Dude, this door is wide open. You are a friend. You are part of the herd. Part of our little collective group we've got going on there. So I want you to know, anytime you want to promote something, anything, or just come shoot the shit with us, door's wide open, dude.
Thank you so
hit
much.
us up. Thank you. Thank you very much. Can we
Thanks,
get a
Chance.
round of applause for Chance again? And for you guys at home watching or listening, July 25th at the Roxy, go to the Roxy's website and you can get your tickets to the one-man show.